Hello, family. Good afternoon. I think that's afternoon. And by the way, Happy New Year. This is 2026. I really want to welcome you all to this very particular amazing show. We've been on holiday for quite some time, if I'm not mistaken, over a month, I think. And so for me, it was the fact that we needed to rest, try to recoup, and at the same time also come up with proper strategy as to how this very particular show this year, 2026, will look like. And let me even say this as we go along. Expect new shows, expect different kind of guests, expect professionals this time who are literally playing in the field that will be talking. I mean, the talks we're going to be having, that also include my guests sitting currently here. And so because of that, I want you to make sure that you're locked down on the AfriOne show. Either you're watching this currently now from YouTube, or you're watching on the TikTok side of things, or maybe you're watching on Facebook and all the other platforms where you guys, Spotify. Somebody was saying to me the other day that, why don't you talk about Spotify and co? Literally, family, we have all our content are currently on Spotify. So please and please, for those of you, and when I mean Spotify, I'm not talking about Spotify, the audio side, Spotify, the video side. So which means you can also watch our content on Spotify. So this year, expect great content, expect thought-provoking conversation, expect different faces. I'll try as much as possible with my team for us to be able to get guests from different countries. And let me even say this. The reason why it is hard for us to get guests from different countries currently in Nigeria is Nigeria has this magic where, for strange reason, the moment the people find themselves in the country, the first thing they do is they understand broken. And before you know what is going on, we have almost 700 languages, almost more than 300 what you call different regions in Nigeria. Now that is 36 provinces. So no matter how much an Ethiopia come into Nigeria, they may end up looking like somebody from Kaduna. Or you find a South African in Nigeria, they look like somebody from Igbo land. Or you have somebody from Namibia, they look like one, what you call Ibira person. So it's hard to find. Now, God now bless you. They now understand broken. It's over. So you now need to, Nigeria is very hard where you want to ask somebody, where are you from? Then you're trying to ask, they look at you like, why? So that's the reason why we've not been able to do the diaspora conversations. I'm saying all of this so that you'll pardon us if you're watching us currently now and you know you're from different country living in Nigeria. Please hook us up. You can definitely be able to send email or probably the number on the screen. Call us, we'll be able to have you so that we can then be able to get your experience in Nigeria. I can't give all the experience myself, trust me. I can't, because I'm still trying to balance the ecosystem. So with that being said, today we're going to be talking about all things relationship, love, including sex, if it's going to go that route. But I have a spot here who she has been playing in the place of relationship. Most of her shows that she currently run also on the Armed Forces Radio. So she's a colleague of mine. So I do my show every Wednesday by 7 p.m. She has her own day. She also do her show. But one thing I know is the fact that she's been consistent around the relationship side of things. And so with that being said, today is also 2nd of February. So which means we're in the month of February, all things love. So let's get to see how the conversation is going to go. So ladies and gentlemen, join me, welcome. First guest 2026. She's very shy, so please, but I'll try to remove the shy as we go along. Welcome, Victoria Peters.
Thank you very much, the Afropolitan Apostle.
Talented Steve.
It's nice to, have me here to talk about relationships, I'm glad to be here, so I can't wait for us to get right into it.
No, good, we'll get right into it. Now, first question I want to throw at you now, since you say let's get right into it. When you look at your generation currently, in terms of the whole concept of relationship, her face is not dwindling. That's why I say your shoe may end up flying from your side to me, and that's fine. Your generation of relationship, and for lack of better word, our parent generation of relationship, do you think that currently we understand what relationship is in our generation, or what?
So before I answer that question, I want to be sure that you even know my generation, because I do not belong to Gen Z.
I know.
I'm a millennial. So if I'm using my generation and my parents' generation, I want to believe that we're close. It's Gen Zs now that are taking the thing to a much more, to another level that is making things a little bit, not even a little bit. It has changed a lot of things relationship-wise, because the dynamics has changed so much. Back then, we just needed someone that would love us and will love them right back. But right now, it's the dating scene, the dating pool is so messed up. To even have someone with genuine, to even see someone with genuine intentions, it's like finding a needle in a haystack.
Okay.
It's so messed up right now. They've changed a lot of things. So using our parents' generation that time, they had more tolerance, they had more endurance, they were more patient. But comparing it to current situation now, everybody just wants to, at the slightest discomfort, they want to ask for a divorce. At the slightest discomfort, oh, I can't deal with this. Oh, I'm moving on. You just want to leave. How many people will you leave till you find that one person? Or how many people will you experience till you find that one person that you feel like suits everything that you're looking for? I feel like when you meet someone, you people should not, like, cut some slacks, give room for growth, give room for, like, don't be always in a hurry to just pack up and leave.
I'm glad you say you belong to the millennium. And so now let's look at, which is, we're going to talk three dispensation. The baby boomers are our parents. Millennials, where you and I were currently trending. And the Gen Zs. Let's leave the Gen Alphas and the Gen X. Those ones, okay, only God will help them in their generation. But between now, don't you think that the Gen Z is currently, they are offshoot of what the millennials could not get right when it comes to relationship?
Well, in a way, yes. I would say I'll agree to it. Yes, because there were certain things that the Gen Zs are now bringing to, like, our attention. For example, if you're in an abusive relationship, you find out that some people will stay regardless, or they don't want to leave for one reason or the other, either because of their kids or for one thing or the other, you know. But Gen Zs, they sort of like open our eyes. You don't have to tolerate or endure what is not necessary. You should have deal breakers or principles that you're not willing to compromise regardless of whatever. I think that's what the Gen Zs are trying to, like, put out there. You know, there are certain things that we should not condone simply because, for example, a woman who is 30 years old and is not married, back then the stigma around that would be so much. But I think the Gen Zs has found a way to be like, oh, it's not the end of the world.
Yeah,
like,
it's not the end of the world, but that doesn't make them still remain home. They still keep testing left, right, and center. And in the words of Nigeria, there's this word called body count.
Yes.
So how many body count just because like you said, I think I want us to be able to find a way of how to, especially this month of Valentine. It's February, so it's called the month of love. The question there is this that I want to throw at you. How then do we find the balance? What are the common denominator? Either, let's leave our parents. For us to be here, they gave birth to us, so it's fine. It's here, millennium, moving forward. What is the basic common denominator you think that an average person, in quote, single, should be able to put in their head in trying as much as possible for them to find someone they can settle with, not someone they want to test and see if it's going to work?
Okay, so first off, I think you should know what you want for yourself as a person.
Okay.
Like, before you go out there, well, whilst interacting with other people, I think you should already know, you should already have, like, certain things to look out for when you meet someone, and you know that you're not willing to compromise on that. First of all, be intentional with yourself before you can even be intentional with the next person. Because when you go out there, what is amplified is what is really, is who you are. What, like, people will treat you based off of how you treat yourself, how you present yourself, how you carry yourself. Because I've come to realize that when you go out and you keep, there's a certain way that you handle yourself, and people might actually look down on you or look up to you. So you have to first be intentional about yourself first off, before knowing what you want from someone else. Before being intentional, yes.
So number one, know yourself.
Yes, you should be very aware of what you want for yourself, then know what you want from the next person. For example, if I'm meeting a guy and I'm having
you are smiling if you're meeting a guy. Have you met the guy?
No, I'm just like,
okay, if you are meeting a guy,
yes, I should be able to have good conversations with you. So as much as you're maybe physically aesthetic, you're pleasing to my eyes, if I cannot connect with you intellectually, it's a minus. Like, I'm already like.
What is intellectual? What you call?
Just be able. Okay, you don't have to. I'm not saying you should go and be giving me big grammar or something. Simple, basic conversation. I should be able to hold the same. A lot of people, a lot of guys lately do not know how to hold a simple conversation. For example, I chat with you. Oh, hi, good morning. and the person is like, morning, how was your night? Fine. And that's about it. Some people don't know the next thing to say after that. Yes, it is that bad. A lot of people do not know how to hold simple, basic conversations. Do you know when you're chatting with someone, the ability for that person to open up more avenues for you to have things to talk about, a lot of people lack it.
Don't you think that the reason why most of these people would, I choose to believe, because now you've just attacked the men, so let me protect my comrade.
I'm sorry. I think it goes both ways.
No, I know it goes both ways, but let me say, for example, the guys, from what I've observed currently now is the fact that, yes, an average lady, for instance, and I see them on all these small skits that they do. There's one prank that I like watching and co, and that prank is very funny. This guy will write things on a piece of paper, and he will say to you, your husband or your boyfriend is around. And he will literally give it to the girl. The next minute, the girls are running. And I'm thinking in my mind,
running to where?
So you have a boyfriend. So what are you doing with this one?
Okay, wait. Okay, they'll be with someone else.
They'll be with someone else. Oh. And this guy, so for example, you may see just the guy and the lady talking. And the guy will just write something on a paper. Obviously, you know how they hide their camera and co. And say your husband or your man is around. The next minute, you see the girl look at the thing, look left, look right, gone. And I'm thinking, okay, now, how do you want to have a conversation with such person whereby, for example, like you said, chances are they don't know themselves. You send me a message, I say, good morning, good afternoon, good night, and that is it. Somewhere in my mind, I know that I'm not the only one you are talking to. Now, I'm telling you men now, in our mind, we know they're not the only one.
I want to counter that.
No, okay.
How does that affect your conversation, even if you're not the only one I'm talking to? Mm-hmm. You should be worried about yourself, not the next person.
Good. But at the end of the day, the part where you need to find a way of endorsing, because you throw the blame that the guy must be the one to communicate. How come you, the lady, you are also not initiating communication?
No, that's why I rephrased and I said it goes both ways. So even for the man, even for the women, both parties should know how to, they should know, but I will always say the onus lies more on the men, because I will always say this, women were not supposed to chase. Men are the ones that do the chasing. So in no way would I be the one to instigate. No, you have to. You give me something to work with, and then I'll work with that. But if you don't give me anything, I'll be laid back.
Okay, now let me ask you a question, because this is what you just brought. Now we need to go there, and I want to be sure that.
I hope I've not shot myself on the foot.
You see that one, eh? Oh my God! Which faith do you subscribe to?
I'm Christian.
Christian, thank you. Let's leave the denomination Christian. You know the story of how Abraham asked his servant to go and get, a wife for his son. Mm-hmm. Was it Isaac who went to chase? And Rebecca come? Who did the chase? That's one. Because you are going to defend this. Number two, we get to see when it comes to Ruth, because all of you talk about Ruth and Boaz, and I see how you people post on social media, even Gen Zs, where is my Boaz appearing? My Boaz should come and meet me. Let's go back to that scripture. Boaz was working in his field, right? Ruth came to work in that field. Mm-hmm. Thank God for the presence of Naomi, which I noticed that it is lacking in the church to help ladies position for relationship. Naomi ended up advising Ruth. What happened? Ruth went to sleep by the feet of Boaz. Was it Boaz who chased Ruth to sleep? Number two. Number three, Adam was on his own in peace, running his garden. And God said, it is not good for the man to be alone. Eve appeared. Was it Adam who went to look for Eve? So to answer that question, biblically, is it right or wrong? Because sometimes this is what I choose to believe. We have so much carried a narrative so well to the point that the culture is now beginning to affect a lot of single ladies. In terms of making the first, I'm not saying the lady should pay the guy lobola. What do you guys call lobola in this country again? Bride price. Thank you. I'm not saying the lady should pay the lobola and stuff. Back to bride price. Bride price. But the lady can initiate. If nothing, let's look at the roots, for example. You know how many ladies that have been working in Boaz's farm? Mm-hmm. But Ruth slept at his feet to say, here am I. You can. How many of your generation, down to the millennium, down to the Gen Zs, are getting this? Now, this is Bible. That's why I ask you. So how do you want to come on that part? Defend with the notion you just said. Welcome to AfriOne show.
So I'm speechless, yes. But But wait, wait.
You are the guest. I'll wait.
Wait. Coming back to Ruth and Boaz story.
Ruth, Boaz, Isaac, Rebecca, Adam, Eve. No, it's Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve.
Adam and Eve. That one is God's doing. God said man is not fit to be alone, and so he took out of Adam's rib to make a woman for Adam. So I mean, that's like
that's one of the way. Okay, let's look at the two. Let's look at the two now.
Then you said Isaac and Rebecca. I'm not really familiar with that story.
There was a story where Abraham is the father of Isaac, and Isaac needed to get married, and Isaac father Abraham sent his servant, not Isaac, to go get the woman. So they sent the servant to go and bring Rebecca. Go and read the Bible. The Bible.
So did Rebecca carry herself from where she was to go and meet Isaac? They went to look for her. They went to bring her. They went to bring her from where she was to Isaac. She did not just get up and go to Isaac's place.
I like your point. Now you sitting now.
Yes.
SMD, which one are you?
I'm single.
Good, so you're single. Let's bring that practicality. Let me use a name here. Can Echo's family decide to send their servant to come to Abuja here and meet you now and says, my son Echo wants to marry you?
So I believe that some of those traditions are still in play. For example, the Northerners, most especially the Northerners, most of them don't even know, like maybe from little, they already like have someone that, once your daughter is so age, my son is going to get married to so some of these things are still in play. Now, if you're going to use me as an example and say, can so person come and meet me? Now, it depends on the dynamics. Not a random person cannot just get up and come and say they are sending their servant. There must be something. Maybe they come from a royal family. Maybe me. I'm just creating a scenario. There must be like a relationship, or there must be some. You cannot just get up today and say, okay, go and meet Afropolitan and go and, it won't sit well.
Maybe to Afropolitan, she will come.
It won't sit well. So maybe there must have been like a laid down maybe relationship or something. And if you find out, that's why most times the Northerners, they have generational wealth and all of that, because one rich man from his family has found one rich girl from another rich family and they've joined. So these things, they happen. But yet you don't find, I don't think the girl will just, even Ruth and Boaz story that you're talking about, she positioned herself, yes, it was Naomi that advised her, she positioned herself, but I don't think that she threw herself at Boaz. She was working. She kept herself active enough for the man to even notice her. But I do not think that Ruth went to go and throw herself at a man. And now, brings me back to...
I'm not saying Ruth threw herself, no. But Ruth positioned.
Yes, she positioned herself.
How many ladies currently are positioned?
A lot of ladies, I promise you that. A lot of ladies.
Give me signs at which ladies are positioned so that they can help my guys, for them to be able... This is February. They have reached out to me. Dude, this thing is painful.
No, but I mean, give me signs.
Don't tell me a lot.
Give me signs. Ladies position themselves.
Okay, what are the signs that the ladies give so that the guys can know? These are, when you start seeing a lady doing this, she's trying to position. Okay,
for example, maybe at a workplace, at your workplace, so there's this guy that you're feeling. We find out that, the lady greets you even more. She greets you more enthusiastically than she'll greet others. Maybe she's going for lunch. She's like, let's go together. I mean, women, we used to give green lights. There's some small green lights that, you see, he's nodding his head. There's some small green lights that we used to give. And if it's only a blind man that will say he's not noticing that this girl likes me, or this girl has maybe a soft spot for me and all of that. We can be very bold or vocal with our feelings towards someone. But one thing I know is that you said something about the culture shaping the way we perceive things, and it's not a lie. Because if you go outside the country, how do I put this now? The systems are quite different. When a woman approaches a man and even goes, maybe is bold enough to even tell the man that, I like you and I think maybe we should start something. It's not abnormal outside. It's not something out of the ordinary. And I don't think, if from what we've observed, they won't treat you less of a person. No. But when you come back to Africa, because it is not it's not
No,
a
say when
norm.
you come back to Nigeria.
Okay, when you come back,
Because
to
if you
Nigeria,
call African country, I can tell you Southern Africans are not.
fine. When you come back to Nigeria,
Thank you.
it's not necessarily like that. I feel like culture-wise, when you find a woman that is bold enough to tell you that, most men don't appreciate that woman. In the long run, you come to find out that if the guy starts to act funny, he will tell you, I didn't come and meet you now. You were the one that came to meet me. I've heard people with such experience.
Which guys are those ones? Those guys should be taken to rehab.
Yes, it's not nice, it's not pleasant. That's why me as a lady, I will never advise another lady to be very vocal about her feelings to a man. I won't do that.
Me as a guy, I would advise a guy, please, when a lady give you green light, please don't throw it back at her. Because like you just say, you guys give green light.
Yes, we do give green light.
So when the lady gives green light, please don't throw it back at her. I think because of my time, we'll be going on the second segment. But the question I want to throw at you now, what is the biggest pinpoint? She's looking at me. You're making me like, don't dare. What is the biggest pinpoint that you have noticed within the millennials? Because if the millennials can get it right, the Gen Zs are looking up to us. What is the biggest pinpoint that you have noticed around the millennials' relationship that if given you the power for you to change that, you would influence that very particular narrative and make sure that that becomes something positive? Mark the word biggest pinpoint that you have. It can be a personal story that you have gone through. You don't need to mention the person's name. You can just tell us, that we know we avoid it. It's a question that my guest is going to answer on the second segment as we come, where we're going to be going into all things deeper conversations than when we're going to be talking about how to understand the psychology of a woman, and at the same time also understand how the man needs to position in terms of really making love out of this very particular month. Because to my guys, I'm trying my best. They say they give you guys green lights, but you throw the green light back at the ladies. Repent. We'll be right back just now. All right, family, we're back again on the second segment, and I believe that the first one was I was just trying to do the icing of things. But the question I was asking my guest, so that we go straight into the conversation, is the pain point experience that you have seen, that if that is literally sorted, relationship in Nigeria, now stretch across Africa will be better. What is that to you?
I'll put it in 2 words: lack of clarity and inconsistent communication. Lack of clarity because I feel that some people give you an idea of what they are not. How do I put it?
Exactly, because now this is where in church now they will say go deeper.
Yeah,
so go deeper on that one.
For example, you're not looking for something long term, or you're not looking to be in a committed relationship with this person, but they sell you the idea that that's what they are there for. They tell you that, oh, I want to settle down. Like maybe when you guys are having pillow talks, they sell you ideas that make you feel, you found the one, or this person might be they keep selling ideas to you that deep down they know that they are not there for the long run. I'll use this as an example. So This guy,
it's okay, feel free, don't mention his name. This guy
sold he sold an idea. Mind you, all along his plan was to just have this lady be with him for the period of time whilst he's preparing to leave the country. And this lady had no idea that this was not like she didn't know that he was leaving the country, but you know when somebody includes you in their plan, makes you feel like, oh, you're a part of it, or we're working towards building something together. Some people even go lengths to make you drop.
Yes, now she has sat
They sell idea of what is not it. Why won't you just come out clear and tell you, oh, I like you, I like you so much, but this is what it is. I'm not here for the long run. Or I feel like when you're just if a guy will come out and tell you, I like you, I'm not here for the long run, and how will you as a lady accept that? I appreciate the honesty, and if I'm feeling you enough to have a fling with you or just while away time with you for the moment of time, then I will indulge. But if I'm not about that, I believe it's best I tell you that, I'm not, you didn't meet me when I was in that space, so I'm sorry, I cannot. So it prevents unnecessary heartbreaks. It prevents just state what you want, and if the person can handle or deal with it, then the person goes in with you. Don't sell an idea of what you're not to that person. And then inconsistent communication. Today you're making the person feel like, oh, the person is everything to you. Tomorrow you're being inconsistent with your character, and then the person starts to question, am I still important to this person, and all of that. So be consistent. I used to tell people, if you don't introduce me to a vibe you cannot maintain long time, if you know that when you started talking to me, you call me 6 a.m. every morning, the moment you stop calling me 6 a.m. every morning, I know that there's something wrong somewhere.
What if the guy is busy?
No, that's not true. See, there's a pattern, and that is why most men, that is why it looks as though women can cheat more than men, because men have a pattern to doing things, and that's where the difference between
so
the
it
man
looks as women can cheat more than a man. So does that mean that men cheat more than women?
I don't know. See, the thing is,
that part didn't go. The thing stay. It didn't left.
The thing is, a man, like the difference between a man and a woman, when we are doing something, we can still stick to patterns. We can still stick to. We know that, okay, we call you like by a certain time. Even if we are doing something else, we'll still call you by that time. Now, a man is easily distracted. So the moment he starts to, there's an extracurricular activity, he forgets that there was a pattern to, there's a way he does things.
So where is the place?
So the moment you deviate,
okay,
you know that there's, so don't introduce someone to a pattern that, like, don't introduce someone to a vibe you cannot maintain in the long run.
Let's assume that I like this pattern you're talking about, because I think at the end of the day, we don't want to also create a notion whereby the man has now been programmed or the woman has now been programmed as an AI or probably as a robot. Tomorrow, something can happen where, for example, I travel out of the country. The time zone is different. The time that I call you 6 a.m. in Nigeria, now in that place, chances are it is 12 p.m. in that place.
And that's where communication comes in. So you see, it's very, very important to communicate. But most men, and let me stop saying most men, but I feel like men are like the major problems when it comes to relationship. I'm sorry, because that's just the simple truth. See, women, we are like, well, I feel like if you treat a woman right, she's very submissive. We like... In
the Nigerian kind of woman.
It's Nigerian or outside the country, wherever it is, women, we are all wired the same. Naturally, we have the same thinking pattern. We are wired the same. If a man communicates, for example, you call me by 6 a.m. every morning and something happens, you didn't call me by that time, or maybe let me know that this is what's happening. This is why there's a change. Carry me along. Most people you will not carry your partner along, but you want her to understand. How? When you've not given her something to understand, how then do you expect me to understand?
What do you think is missing currently now when it comes to the curriculum of love, as far as Nigeria is concerned? What is missing?
What is missing?
Yeah.
When it comes to the curriculum of love, what is missing? What is missing?
Now, do you see now when we talk about, and we've just been attacked to say we the men were not. We want to understand what is the missing thing.
But I've been saying what is missing now. Lack of communication, lack of clarity, inconsistency. Yes, all of these things. And then this thing where men are now asking, what do you bring to the table? Excuse you? What do you mean?
What do women bring to the table?
Let me choose. We are the table.
You are the table?
Yes. We are the table. What do you people... See, and this is part of the reasons why we are having, it always seems as though we are at loggerheads with the man and the woman and all that. See, naturally, men are providers. Yeah? So...
But now we have women also who provide. How do you balance that?
Yes, we have women. But do you know that it is not in our nature as women to be providers? You are too fast. Calm down.
You're on the AfriOne show. Yeah. Tell your comrade.
It is not in our nature as women to be providers. So that's why even when you find women that are providers, if you check deeply, they are not so happy. They are doing it because, okay, and if I don't do it, probably there's no one else to do it and all of that. But if you want to see a woman in her soft era, in her feminine era, you will see her with someone that...
But you guys, as much as women are not wired to be a provider, it's quite... I'm enjoying this conversation, to be very honest. And you guys are very quick to quote Proverb 31:10, woman.
Okay.
But did you guys read Proverb 31:1 to 10? But you stop at Proverb 31:10. And you don't even go from 10 and jump to even 11. Or probably just do even 9, 10, 11. But you stop. He that finds a virtuous woman. You know, we know it. What is the curriculum or the characteristics? Let me say it like South Africa will say, the characteristics of a Proverb 31:10 woman. What is that?
No, tell me. You're about to tell me. Tell me.
No, I'm not. Because you guys are the one who basically have Proverb 31:10. Do you notice that men don't have Proverb 31:10 or Proverb 30:11, whatever?
Say it. What are the characteristics? Tell
You
me.
are the one who says women are not wired. Because this is what I choose to believe. When you say women are not wired to provide and all of those things. I think we need to get to the point where, especially when it comes to the context, now let's put a context to it, marriage. Now, we need to get to the point where God can use any channel to fuel the vision of the marriage. The reason why most times a marriage seems to look very complicated or probably people are not in sync in the marriage is because we also still have this notion that the men must provide. Now, let me tell you what the man by default should provide. The man should provide vision and the man should provide leadership structure as far as the home is concerned. That is why if you look at it, let's go back. I like going back. That's me now, a Christian. I like going back to the very beginning. When Adam and Eve were in the garden, who was providing in that space? God provided. The problem why relationship is now having problem is because we have taken God's responsibility and put it on man. That man also means either a male or a female.
When God was meting out punishments after Adam and Eve had messed up by eating the fruit, what was Adam's punishment?
It said the tilling of the ground. It says, in pain shall you be able to till the ground moving forward. But do you understand that at that very particular moment of the tilling of the ground, because the man was masculine enough for him to till ground, not the woman. Now we have women who understand fashion, business, finance, tech, and all of those things. Do you think if God would want to, for lack of a better word, curse the man that time, he will now say, in coding IT? Because you need to understand, this is when most times we miss this stuff. I tell people, read the Bible in the context of the Bible and don't carry it and blanket everything. We are currently now in a generation whereby women, for example, let's look at, pardon me, I'm going to use your name, please, for a good cause. Vicky James. Okay. Vicky James is a highly 500 fortune income earner as far as is concerned. You and I know too well, it's not this thing. She earns more than the husband. And I like something she once said, and I think I once see it on a social media platform where she said this, that it's not about who brings the money, it's the vision of the home that matters. And that's the exact statement that most women, because hear me, the reason why this thing, I'm happy we're having this conversation is this. Most women from millennium down to Gen Z, I bet you they will be singles. You know why? Because there's this notion of the cake that men provide. But men, I'm not against, and men hear me, I'm not against you providing. You must be able to provide to a certain extent according to the space available. We're also dealing with a devil. Call this what you call this, for lack of a better word, these narratives whereby women empowerment and co. Let's look at the office where I am currently now. And with the structure that I have put in place, do you know that moving forward for AfriOne, for instance, the workforce of the women is going to be 76% over men. Those are women that will have husbands at home. The husband's chances I may not be able to work. How do you think that I'm going to pay a woman, for example, high salary, and the husband is at home? Who now will provide at home? Not because the husband doesn't want to work, but Darlington will not employ because 76% of Darlington's workforce are women. You know why? Because we are trying to meet the universal standard of things. You have women working in your organization fly higher. You have men too much working, you don't get the normal pay. Do you notice that we are fighting a demon here? Now, until we get to the point whereby both the men and the women, and this is the thing I'm saying, family, hear me, that it is not based on who brings the bacon, it's what the purpose of the bacon. The man is bringing the bacon home, it's easy for the woman to spend, because now we're talking home-wise. We're not talking about you flinging and all of those very particular things. Now, if the woman is bringing the bacon, what's the vision of that home? I can say this point blank, looking at the camera, most men of God that you see currently now, quote me, I will tell you point blank, when they start their ministry, the first 10 years, it's there, it's proven. Their wives run the home, but they never say it.
So now, I like where you're coming from, and I like all the angles you've come from. When I said that men are basically the providers, I'm not saying nobody wants to be with a woman that cannot help you when push comes to shove. And women will naturally, see, this is something that comes off very easy. It's very, very easy. See, I grew up in a home where my mom literally trained myself and my younger ones. It's not like my dad was not working or doing something. If you have a good woman by your side, she's your helpmate. She's to cover you. She's to...
I'm glad you say that. How does that shape you?
It has shaped me into the person that I am today. I'm not saying that I will not be with a deadbeat guy. That guy has to be my, like, you have to provide for me. But at the same time, when you cannot, I will come in. Okay. I will stand in. That's what a woman is there for. But you will not give her the major responsibilities as a man, regardless of that vision that you say a man is supposed to come. See, you get into marriage, in that context, marriage that you're saying, with only vision and, what did you call it again?
Leadership.
Vision and leadership, without any finance to boost that leadership and vision that you're talking about, you will suffer. It will suffer very well. But when there is something to work with, that woman will augment. And apart from yes, being when I say the provider, I mean in so many other aspects. Because the other time I saw online a man in his in his egoistic nature, talking about how his wife is a clown because she expected him to help her change their baby's diapers. That how dare the woman ask him to do that?
No, that's wrong.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
So you have men having this type of school of thoughts. When you say that you have women in high places, do you think that those women in high places, if they don't have men that will support them at home, because you have men that think that a woman's place is only in the house, is only with the kids, is only in the kitchen.
That's wrong.
You know?
Yeah.
Meanwhile, like you said, we're having women in high places. The Vicky James that you used as an example, do you think that if Femi Atere was not in any way standing up or covering up for her in one way, do you think that relationship will stand?
It won't stand.
Of course, it's not going to. So
yeah.
it's pari passu, like you come close, I come close, but the man will first come like this before the woman will come. That's just how it is. That's just how it's done. Most women that you see that will shoulder everything, if you ask them deeply, they are not happy, regardless of whatever vision, leadership, they are not happy.
I think the truth there, just to agree to all of what you've said, the truth there is, yes, the women are not wired that strong, but that doesn't mean that they are not. Because remember, at the end of the day, when we make a confession, we say, for as Christ is, so are we in this world. So are you then saying that there is a female version of Christ and there is a male version of Christ?
And that's not what I'm saying.
That's not what you are saying.
Not what I'm saying.
Okay, now, I think the question I want to throw at you now, so that I don't lose this very particular thought because it's stuck in my brain. For a lady currently now who is looking forward of settling down, and this very particular lady literally has been pained. She's laughing. She's been pained for previous relationship. What advice will you, because you play in that very particular space, you talk about it more often on your show, and I listen to them. What is the thing that the lady needs to be able to put in her mind in understanding that, okay, yes, you've been pained, you want to enter into a relationship, what measures should this very particular lady, in quotes, put in place?
She should be intentional about what she wants for herself, basically. I feel like your life's experiences, the pain that you've gone through, which should sharpen what you want for yourself. You sharpen your decisions about what you want for yourself. So when you see recurring patterns, you should be able to discern and be like, no, I've gone through this route before. I don't want to take this route again. There are certain steps that you took in the past before that you knew that if you follow that same way, you're still going to end up the same way. So yes, you should be intentional about yourself. You should have boundaries. You should have realistic expectations, because one of the things that is affecting us currently, we are not realistic with our expectations. Everybody just
What are your realistic expectations?
Yes, now everybody wants Odogu. And not everybody
you guys want to bring to come and collect your phone number.
Not everybody is going to get an Odogu. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So as much as people will say don't look for potential, look for intentions with the potential. Like, let the person have something doing to show, not just be saying it with, like, let people's actions match their words. Okay. So go for some, not somebody that will tell you, I miss you, you're the air that I breathe, and there's no actions to back up.
The air that I breathe is oxygen.
There's no actions to back up anything. So I feel like when you're, as a lady currently, if you want to go for that person that his actions matches his words, your mouth cannot be saying one thing and then your body, your language, your everything is saying something else.
How long would a lady stay for her to know that this guy seems to have a potential? How long? Is there a time frame for that? Welcome to AfriOne show.
I don't really welcome.
That's why I don't send questions.
So, yeah, is there a time frame? I don't know. I think it should be relative to an individual, but I think 6 months to 1 year.
So 6 months to 1 year is the time frame for the lady to take it serious. So which is between now and that time, the guy should just be trying to be odogu every time for 6 months.
Not try to like be intentional, be kind, be respectful, be thoughtful, communicate, like express yourself, initiate things, pick each other's brain, ask difficult questions. A lot of times people don't like to ask.
What if the brain is not there to pick? What then happened?
Yes, problem. But I feel like the way God has designed life, there's somebody for that. So that person that you feel like the person does not have brain, another person may see the person and is like, this person has mighty brain also.
I hear you. Okay, I think, for example, now that one for relationship now, how long should dating last for it to move from dating to courting, then from courting to marriage?
Oh, Chim, for someone like me, I don't have time. Like, oh God.
Okay.
I don't have time. So 2 years. People just date for 2 years. 2 years is even too long because I don't know what we are doing.
For you?
Yeah.
Victoria Peters.
2 years.
How long will you stay in just normal talking? No, they say there's a talking
stage.
Yeah. How long is talking stage? How long is dating stage? How long is courting stage? And how long for it to shift?
I really don't know. I don't know what these people do in talking stage. See, I just feel like if you like someone, the person has expressed himself to you and you like the person back, you're just hit it off. I don't know what, like people that do talking stage, I don't know what people are talking about. I don't know what.
Yeah, but you said they should communicate. They're communicating. Asking about what
we've started dating. I don't know what.
So the moment you started talking,
we are talking. We've started dating. So I don't know which one we are doing talking stage. Like I don't know what that talking stage actually means because I don't know. This talking stage is a new thing that these people started.
The Jay-Z brought.
Yes, I don't. I don't know what they do in talking stage. But the moment we start talking, you've expressed yourself to me, and me, I'm also interested in you. We've started though. I don't know. We're not doing any talking. All the talking is part of the dating that we are dating. All the conversations we are having, yes, we've already started dating. What is dating actually? Dating is getting to know the person.
Okay.
So I don't know what people will say they are doing talking stage talking stage for what? So when people are talking, you do talking stage. When you people now date, you people stop talking. I don't know.
Okay, so how long is dating? Because clearly talking stage, you are not part of the talking stage group. How long is dating before it moved into the nest?
1 year, 2 years.
So which means, from your own standpoint?
Yes.
1 year, 3 years. Okay. Ladies, if you're listening to me or you're watching currently now, how long is your own dating state? Or how long is your dating? Now, what you call courting, and also how long is those very particular courting needs to stay. I think for me personally, the one I don't really like, to be very honest, is when you book the lady at booking. I call engagement booking, so that's how I call it. So when you book a lady, for me, the moment is more than 3 years, then the lady can literally drop the ring because you are not long of the ring.
3 years? Why would I be wearing a ring for 3 years?
But I'm just saying, the moment I've met a lady.
I feel like if you propose to me, our marriage is like 1 in the next 6 months to 1. What are we doing that we have not? What are we talking about that we
marriage now?
During our dating process, we must have been talking about it. I must have sent you, babe, look at this picture. This would be nice, or you look nice.
It's quite interesting for you,
and
ladies,
all of that.
The moment a guy, like you just said, the moment the dating, this is what I say. The moment you tell a lady, I love you, or whatever, all of that dating phase, you guys are very fast to project. One thing I can give it to you women, you've already gone to the wedding venue, you've checked the wedding suit, you've checked how the caterer is going to look like. You've checked everything. And I said to most of my guys, I said, the reason why the lady says no to you, it's not because maybe you're not handsome or all of those things, because she has checked the suit that you're going to wear on the day of wedding. It doesn't fit you. So because of that, is a no. Or probably the children she's going to born, she's looking at you like, you have big head. So the children will not come out from my body. That's how I see with all those things. But now as we go to the final segment on the show, the question I want to throw at you now before we begin to go. I know this is a touching part. Do you think that finance is very important in relationship? We'll be right back after this very particular show. Please make sure that you subscribe on all our channels that you're watching these, and so that we can then be able to make sure that we grow and we grow together with you. We'll be right back just now. All right, we're back again on the final segment, and this one we're going a bit deeper, which we're going to be looking at the issue of culture and also narrative that is currently on ground. But before we do that, the question I ask you while we're going on break is the fact that the finance they play a major role when it comes to the concept of relationship currently.
Because I'm wondering how that's even a question, but of course, like finance is very, very, very important.
Your very is very long. So how important is that, and how does it shape the whole total ballgame of relationship?
So when there's finance, comfort, stability, compatibility, these things, you know.
So without finance, there's no compatibility.
It doesn't take away these things, yeah, but it supports them. It makes, money just makes the world go round. It just makes things easier.
Can a woman ever fall in love with a man who doesn't have money?
It's possible. No, for real. It's possible.
It's possible.
It's possible.
So finance is not the foundation of things.
Not necessarily. Other things come into play, but finance is very, very important. You cannot overemphasize the importance of finance. I'll give you some basic examples, even in the context of not even in relationship wise, maybe you're married and all of that. It just makes things easier. For example, your wife is pregnant. You would want her to go to the best hospitals to have your children, but when there's lack of finance, you begin to manage, and with management comes complications and whatnot. When there's finance, the ability for you guys to just say, okay, babe, we are going on a trip, like we've worked enough, let's go and rest more, let's go and tell me which woman will not even fall in love more with you. But you guys work January to December. There's no form of, there's no relaxation. There's no money. Every time you people are managing. Okay, you even want to cook. With the way the economy is right now, I know how much it will take you to make a decent meal. Then if there's finance, you have good meal, you eat well. When there's no, you will manage. You say, this soup I bought, it's going to finish. You have to be managing. You cook soup that's supposed to take 3 days, but you find out that you pour water inside so that it will stay like 7 days. So that before you know it breathes. Yes, now so that it will stay long. All this management is stressful. But when there is money, even your woman will be listening to you. Baby, don't worry, just take my everything is just going to be
baby girl life. I heard that one again.
So baby girl life. Doesn't take away the place of emotional connection and everything, but it's very, very, it supports, it makes everything go
very smoothly and stuff.
Seamless.
And I think also this part I want to read it so that I get it properly. Is compromise still valued today, or has self-preservation replaced it entirely?
So
welcome to the show.
So self-preservation, compromise. I feel like when two people are involved in whatever it is, at some point in time, one person has to compromise. The other, like there's going to be compromise at one point or the other. If you say you truly love this person, you care about this person, you care about the both of you's relationship, you can't be selfish all the time. You cannot be preserving yourself.
Yeah, but this is what I want.
Time.
I want this. You know the generation where we are. It's my way or no way.
No, that's not. It's not nice. I mean, when it comes to
tell your comrade,
it's not nice. I mean, you should be able to make certain compromises where it really matters. You can't be selfish all the time. It's not. You just can't be selfish all the time.
Not selfish all the time. Self-preservation, and I think for me, the part there that is still stuck. Where then do you draw the line of how far you can compromise in a relationship? Where is the line that you draw?
Okay. By your personal beliefs, your personal principles, your personal boundaries, there are certain things that regardless of what's happening, I cannot, for example, if I have a deal breaker that I cannot be in a violent relationship. Like, if I know that this man is a violent man, regardless of of whatever is happening, so long as I know that you're violent, I won't stay. I will preserve myself. This is where self-preservation comes into play. Some people will say they won't leave because of their
Whatever they are
kids.
benefiting,
I will
yeah.
leave the kids with you. I will leave everything with you because I will not. It is something, it is a deal. It is not something that I can compromise on. I cannot compromise on a man that beats me. Even if he's going to, you know that some of these men that are like that, they are very romantic. They beat you today, the next day they'll fly you to Dubai to go and receive treatment. So
they beat you for treatment.
so some people would rather, you hear statements like, oh, I rather cry in a Bugatti than cry in keke or something like that. Me, I don't want to cry anywhere. Or keke or Bugatti, I don't want to cry. So if I know that you're like this.
To pause you, do you want to cry in the Bugatti or laugh in the keke?
I'll laugh in the keke. I'll laugh in a keke, please.
You don't want trouble and stuff.
I don't want. I feel like you should have do's and don'ts. You should have principles you stick by. You should have boundaries that you stick by. Those will guide your decisions when it comes to maybe making a compromise or something. Yeah.
How do we begin to balance the whole concept of these emotional traumas? Where do we draw the line? One. And while you're thinking of that question, I think something that pops into my head, it's because it's still stuck in my brain, and I've noticed that it's a serious problem in Nigeria. And let me use this opportunity to talk about it, the whole issue of insurance. And now hear me, no insurance company is sponsoring me. That's why I'm not mentioning insurance name at the moment. I have come to notice, for example, that everything that average Nigeria do here in this country is cash-based. And sometimes I don't understand how do Nigeria, well, I guess it's a system. Like I say, I'm still new on stuff. I don't understand how you could see, because for example, I've done a lot of what's called insurance research. And I discovered that, for example, with as little as 15,000 naira, for example, on a monthly basis, you can literally have what we call a comprehensive cover. That also include, for example, the whole issue of hospitalization in case of somebody is sick, maternity checkups, and all of those very particular things. Now I'm saying this, and I think let me even throw this month of February. Ladies, this is me, because she said that we are the problem. So now men, this is the thing also you put on the stuff. Ladies, this is the thing here. Please do me a favor. If the man literally does not have an insurance policy, guarantee that chances are you are not insured also in that marriage or that relationship. He must be able to have an insurance. And I'm saying this because I want you to be responsible enough to carry your phone instead of being on TikTok and be arguing with who puts tattoo or who doesn't put tattoo. Go and tattoo your life to make sure that at least you have an insurance policy. Now, I say this because Nigeria currently now, the minimum salary, if I'm not mistaken, I think they said is that 70,000 naira currently now. 70,000 naira. But by the time the sickness strike, hospital bills, for example, we want to live the soft girl life where, I mean, the guy promised the lady soft girl life, but now she needs to go to hospital to go and deliver. Chance the hospital will cost 250,000 naira for you. Your 70,000 salary that month cannot pay that. Sure. But with an insurance that you have, literally, your insurance company can pay that very particular 250,000 easily. If you want me to be able to recommend good insurance for you, not because they paid me to talk about. That's why I'm not mentioning any of them at the moment. Chances are insurance company, if you want me to talk about it, pay me. But for now, I'm not going to use her time to talk about your insurance company. But please, if you're interested in insurance company that can cover you, you can inbox on this very particular channel you're watching for. And I'll try to guide you. Because the truth of it is the fact that another thing I've noticed in Nigeria, and I was saying this with a lady friend of mine in church. I said the problem is the fact that Nigerian system has so much managed information gaps so well, to the point that the information that the average people need, they put it where the people cannot find it. And yet the information is readily available. I was saying to a particular team of mine, I said, do you know that the normal app that you have on your phone, insurance is there?
What app?
You guys give me, you pay. That's the business now. You pay. I know somebody's also asking, which app is that to? Inbox. 7,500. No, what am I calculating? No, it's a lie. Calculate 7,500 rand for me. That's the amount I charge in naira. So you will pay. That's the thing. But now, as we go to this very particular place here now, for the men, I know we've talked about a woman. Who do you think this month of love a proper man is? And how do you define that that's a proper man that a lady can give a try?
How do I define a proper man?
Yeah, that a lady can give a try. Yeah, you've attacked us thus far. So now, begin to tell us what you guys want to see, so that we then begin to prepare ourselves. So what is that?
Well,
welcome to the show.
We want to see a man who is intentional, We want to see a man whose words
When you
match.
say intentional, let's not just put points. Let's try to do explanation. Intentional, what does that mean?
Intentional in your actions, in your words. For example, if you, which I want to use a simple.
You can make it complicated. My listeners, I promise you, they are very
I
smart
want to
people.
use like just how do I explain it now? Because I feel like everybody knows what intentional is. If you say you like someone, show the person that you like the person. You cannot just be saying that I like you, but you're not doing anything to make the person's life easier or showing the person that yes, this is I'm doing this because I like you. You know, you should be you should be intentional about how you like that person.
Intentionality for the man. What else again?
For the man, even for the women too.
No, but I'm talking about men. We want to know what you guys are looking forward to so that we position. You've just you've just attacked us for 15 minutes. Okay.
Yes, communicate.
So how do we talk? Give us a guideline. Because we greet you good morning, that's communication to us. How are you? Have you eaten? Yes. What do you want? Ice cream. Take. Bah. That's communication for men. So
that's communication for men.
So tell us what do you guys want from us so that we know. Do you see the problem? She just look. She said we're not communicating. I'm asking what communication is. She's not. I choose to believe that lady has this idea in their. Some ladies, they have this idea in their head that men should just be all-knowing, and the only person who is all-knowing is God Almighty.
No, but I mean, men cannot be all-knowing now. Are they God? They are not God now. But
so I'm asking you. You guys say we are not communicating. I've greeted you good morning. I even call you. Are you fine? You say no. You are not fine. You're having headache and all of that. I finished that point. What else do you want from me?
Yeah, what do you mean by what else do I want from you? Continue communicating. Continue, don't be inconsistent. Don't not you. It's not that today you.
But
call.
I communicate.
It's not that
no.
It's not that. Wait now.
Wait
now. It's not that you call today. After like 2 or 3 days, you just be quiet. Do you know that some people even collect your number? It's when you now post a fine picture. That's when they'll remember to chat you. Oh, today how have you been? Oh, and then this is somebody that tells you that they like you or they are interested in you.
I like this number issue because I've seen when you ladies hand over your numbers to a guy, how long should the guy stay before calling you?
Which one is? Why are you staying long to call?
Okay, how many hours should the guys stay?
Which one is how many hours? As you're collecting the number, you're chatting the lady. I'm like, hi, this is so personal. I just got your number. Okay, so I'm busy right now.
So you guys are expecting when you collect number that the guy should chat?
Exactly.
Wow, ladies, guys, we're just hearing now.
But that's the communication thing I'm talking about. Because see, I'll give like sometimes, like now, maybe I met you at a social function.
Yeah.
You know, you find out that some people, you meet them at a social, you guys had a good time, you gisted, you laughed. The moment you share numbers, it's like everything has died. The person goes, you, the lady, now you're waiting.
But you also collected this number too. Now, why are you not initiating?
You will not hear from the person.
Do you see why I say this narrative?
No, but I mean, sometimes the lady can initiate and say, hi, I've not heard from you in a while, you know, and then the person be like, but one thing I know, one thing is sure, if the energy is right, reciprocated, things will go well. But once the energy is not ready, and this is not just from one party, because even me as a guy, if I'm chatting a lady up and her energy is like cold, or maybe she's giving me one-worded responses, I will not come back again.
I won't come back also. So what am I coming back to do?
I feel like, so when I say communication, it's not just by saying good morning, how was your, like, there's a build up, you know, when you say something, you leave room for, and even when you want to like end the chat, you're like, okay, babe, talk later or something. I'll message
babe,
you.
at that moment,
I'm just using babe as an example. You could just call the person's name or just let the person know that, okay, you communicate later or you chat later or something. It just keeps it going. And then I'm not saying that every day you should go and be asking her, have you eaten? Have you eaten? Every day, have you eaten?
No, but the lady must eat now. Guys, please stop asking that stupid question. I'm sorry.
Please,
that's a stupid question because the lady literally eats.
Have you eaten? In the morning, have you eaten? In the afternoon, have you eaten? In the night, have you eaten? Me, I will get tired of answering, have you eaten? Please. You should look for other interesting. There are so many interesting things happening around you. There are so many things. I see these are things that happen in the spur of the moment. So I cannot like offhand just bring up. I just feel like once you're chatting with someone, there are so many things to talk about. For example, since morning, I've had quite the day. So the moment, now if I'm getting a chat now, somebody, oh, how was your day? Me now, in response.
Guys, you see that question? How was your day?
Yes,
She
a
will
lot
start
of people.
from in the morning when
Yes,
you wake up.
God bless you.
We are tired.
No, that's the communication we're talking about.
the morning
How
when you
somebody say how somebody will ask you, how was your day? You just say fine. If you say fine, where will the person continue from? Nowhere. So if you say how was your day, you say, oh, I did this, I went to this place, I went to this place. Now that I went to this place, I went to this has given that person now an avenue. Oh, you were with AfriOne. Oh, really? I've heard so much. Before you know it, there's something else
That
to
is
talk
only
about.
a woman who say, I've heard so much of that.
So see, I'm telling
sharp,
you that's
okay.
how it is. That's the communication I'm talking about. But when you just say, how was your night? Somebody will just say, fine. How was your day? Fine. This one.
What triggers
fine.
you people
This
whereby
one.
the moment that question, for example, you ask a woman, how are you? The answer is fine. But for strange reasons, she will start from, as I was coming, I saw this. I'm thinking, I just ask her, how are you? I don't understand what you saw. It's how are you? Are you fine? No. What triggers you guys where when a question is asked directly, you start from behind the scene before you get to the front?
Me, I'll answer personally to that question.
Okay.
So when someone asks me, how am I? Now, depending on who is asking me, I know how to answer to that question. I can leave it at, I'm fine.
Okay.
And I can go further to tell you, oh, I'm fine. I woke up well. I had breakfast this morning, There are certain people that...
Is it that part? That's
yes.
what I understand.
So you see, that's the thing. If you say that you want to be in a relationship with someone, you have to be in that person's business. Yes.
So it's a business.
Yes, you have to be in that. This one is not the question of mind your business anymore. So you're asking me how am I, and you're my potential boo. I will tell you how I'm not feeling good. Oh, I'm having stomach upset. Oh, I had this, and since I had it, I've not been feeling. That is conversation building, not how are you, and you just say fine. Meanwhile, you're not even actually fine.
Where do we draw the line between vulnerability and independence in a relationship?
Vulnerability and independence in a relationship. There are certain places to draw the line. So you're just meeting someone, or you guys are just building a relationship. I don't feel like you should play all of your cards or show all of your weaknesses.
Okay.
And there are sometimes people make that mistake by exposing or revealing too much of themselves before time. For example, if maybe you're having like family issues, maybe you came from a dysfunctional home, your prospective partner has no business knowing some of those things at that time.
Okay.
I feel like there are certain stages to which you can now open up yourself and let the person know. But once you're just meeting this person, you guys are just starting to talk, you guys are building something, you start to tell them that, oh, you have one generational problem, or you have one, you start to just bring up instead of the person might get scared and be like, this one that's problem just for this gay body like this. You understand?
I carry myself, they go.
It's so there are times you should be able to hold yourself. You don't just be vulnerable
Okay, there's this tricky one that is around now, because I see when is the right time for a lady or a guy to be able to communicate. For example, let's say single parenting now is quite almost everywhere now, whether I like it or not. When is the good time? Now we're talking about single parents now. Good. Because at the end of the day, they are single. Hey, let's leave what happened. When is a good time for them to be able to now talk about, the only name that is in my head is called baggage, but it's fine. What's the good time to talk about the fact that they are single parents? Because if I'm meeting you now, for example, I meet Victoria, I don't know that you have a child or stuff and all of those things. When is the right time for a lady or a guy to communicate about their significant child?
When you've seen seriousness to a certain degree. When you've seen commitment to a certain degree.
What kind of questions will you be able to ask to get to that certain degree?
What kind of questions
that I need? Because hear me, I can be serious because I thought that you're just single. Then I get to the place of seriousness and I discover that you have a child, and I'm a guy who does not want to settle with single mother. So what then happened? Because you say when you see the guy is serious.
Yeah, but I feel like patterns, you understand. When I say seriousness, I feel like because when you get into a relationship with someone and from conversations that you people have, I feel like so you can have clickbaits.
Okay.
Do you understand? You can be like you can stir up maybe a conversation that will give you insight, just to pick the person's, to know where the person is at. So such conversations like, what do you think of, for example, now if I'm the single parent, and I'm meeting someone that I like this person, and I see that things are brewing, you know. So I could just be like, what's your thoughts on single? So from your response, that will inform if I should let you know or kill it.
So now, if you kill it, I like the killing part. You kill it, not telling it to him. Does that end the relationship for you, or you still want to find a way of continuing it?
So some people, that's why I said be genuine, be genuine with what you want for yourself, and like from the other person. Don't waste anybody's time. You're with someone, and you've somehow thrown that conversation into, like, you've thrown it into the conversation. You've now seen where the person's head is at as regards that particular if you know that you're going to continue, or you really like that person so much more that you don't want to, I feel it's the best time for you to like open up and let that person know. If the person doesn't want to stay, please don't force it. God will give you your own. Simple and short.
There is this thing that is popular since I came into Abuja, and permit me, I'm going to be using it, so I'm going to throw it. I've heard this statement, which most times I don't understand, but you ladies throw it. Be careful of Abuja boys. What is that? What does that mean? Be careful of Abuja boys. And sometimes I'm wondering, okay, there's Abuja boys, what happened to the Abuja girls? Is it that the ladies are not Abuja, and it's only the boys that is Abuja boys? So can you help me expand this?
You know that in Abuja, dating system is layered. So there's this class, you know, and all of that. So it's not necessarily even about the city. It's about the individuals, both the boys, both the girls. People project what they are not. You see a lot of times they be living, because I mean, this is the Federal Capital Territory, so many flashy things. So they just feel like, okay, packaging, fake it till you make it. That mentality, that packaging mindset, you know. And a lot of
so
times,
Abuja boys do those packagings.
But it's not only Abuja boys, even Abuja girls.
I'm not about Abuja. I'm saying it because I've heard it. Like, no, you don't understand
ways.
Abuja boys.
It's both ways. Abuja boys, Abuja girls, they will have, in this same Abuja, you still see genuine people. In this same Abuja, you see the ones that are just all about the lifestyle. You know, pressure of Tiwa. The pressure is a lot.
Pressure of what?
Sorry, it's a slang. So I'm just saying,
what does Tiwa mean?
Like, there's pressure.
Okay.
There's a lot of pressure currently, so it's just, that's where the stereotype comes from. So you see people portraying lifestyles that they are not necessarily into. I've heard so many stories that you see men living from their cars. They don't have
Somebody's
a house and all of that, you know. But I personally have not.
Somebody was saying to me that beware of Abuja boys, and when you say an Abuja boys, literally they give you a comment card, they write ICT. Say rod. Okay. You see, and when you hear the guy say he stays in Gwarimpa, I ask questions because I'm like, okay, that thing becomes an interesting stuff. They say beware of Gwarimpa boys, then beware of guys who are ICT guys. Then
that's
also,
tech bros.
You know that.
He said, what do you do? He said, I'm a tech bro.
I'm a tech bro.
Beware.
So every tech bro, they said you guys should change career now.
But you know that this is just, it's a stereotype. It's not all. It's not all, but enjoy everything.
All right, I think I enjoyed my conversation with you as we begin to bring our thought to a close on this very particular February Love Month and stuff. What will be the message you want to pass across, first and foremost, to your fellow comrades, which is female?
It's not to my fellow comrade.
You say?
It's not to my fellow comrade.
No, to your fellow comrade. What do you want to say to your fellow comrade? As far as love is concerned, and that's your camera.
So I'm going to say to my fellow comrades that have realistic expectations, have your own personal boundaries, communicate clearly what you want for yourself, and don't compromise on what you want for yourself. Because the moment you start to make excuses, you know, you get it wrong.
You say there's a place between vulnerability and compromise. Now you say don't compromise.
on certain beliefs, on certain rules, principles.
Okay.
Yes, there are certain principles as a human being, first off, then as a lady, that you know that, okay, if this man does not possess these certain characters, you have no business with this person. So yes, do not know what you want for yourself, basically. If you know what you want for yourself, you won't get it wrong.
All right, message to the guys, knowing too well that you've just attacked us for 15 minutes plus. I count the time.
Message to the guys, be consistent in character.
And look at, do you see how the face change?
Yes.
We should be consistent in character.
Be
That's
consistent
our only.
in character. Be kind. Be thoughtful. Initiate hangouts. It's not every time come to your house as if there's something that they are sharing in your house. Go out. Go out. Make, I don't know, plan dates, fun activities.
What if the guy is not an outing person? So how would the lady comes into assist in terms of that?
Oh, he can be like, oh, hi babe, or hi lady, whatever her name is. I'm not so much of an outing person. I really don't know what your weekend is looking like. What do you think we can do? So yes, the lady can now give him some ideas, but not every time come to my house. Come to my house.
That's Abuja boys down there. Abuja boys is come to my house syndrome.
Any small thing comes. What is it that you?
But that is the house is going to get married to and put you in now. What's your problem?
When we reach that bridge, we'll cross it. But for now, let's go out.
So now is the benefit of the relationship that you guys have. Are you available for whatever lack of better word, mentoring or coaching young ladies who are currently struggling in a relationship? You're not. Why?
Because I'm still mentoring myself.
That's the first time I'm liking that. That's a good, honest one. You're still mentoring yourself. No, that's a good one.
What do I know?
So how can people find you in case they want to reach out for potentials? You just said you're single, but I didn't ask if single and busy or single and single.
I'm single and available to mingle.
Okay. So to my fellow guys, this is, at least I've presented one for you now, officially. Available to be taken.
Oh my
you guys can do what you know how to do best. And how can they find you, by the way, Sam? Let me, before they will not be asking me, where do we find her?
You can find me on Instagram, Dainty_Peters. Dainty_Peters.
Dainty. Wow. Okay.
Dainty. Dainty_Peters. You can find me there.
That's only where you have Instagram. That's why you communicate most.
Yes.
And that's fine. Guys, let's do with the Instagram part. So please, all my guys, start to bombard. Hopefully she'll be able to. Finances is important. If you don't have money also, don't come because she did this. She has already done filtering. She's already said to you, if you don't have it, don't show up. So with that being said, I appreciate you so much for coming on the show. I hope it wasn't too difficult. I wasn't hard.
Thank you for having me. I totally had fun.
So hope when we invite you again for next time, you'll be there.
Yes.
So family, I didn't do a introduction properly. The next advert you're going to see on this very particular stuff, that's the lady's voice that has been doing all the advert for me on the Armed Forces Radio. And also on the one property of recent that we started posting in code. So in case if you want, I choose to just market her on this part. If you want to get that voice, definitely. Now, this is where money comes in. It's not going to be for free. She will charge you and stuff. So you can ask her how much she charges. Has nothing to do with me. But she's a very good voiceover artist and work in the media space of things. Like I said, we all both work in the same organization at the moment. With that being said, family, please love one another. This is February. Extend love. Make sure that you try everything within your possible best for you to be kind. Kindness for me is a big thing that I have noticed that is almost trying to leave Nigeria. I don't know why. So please and please try to be kind. Just understand, especially you drivers, just understand that as you're driving, somebody's also driving. And don't just be a, whatever they call it. I love you, my family. I'll see you on the subsequent production. Bye for now. I remain your host, the Afropolitan Apostle Darlington Steve. I'll see you on the subsequent production. God bless you.
Dream Homes. Exclusive estates, unmatched investment potential.
Welcome to the AfriOne Property, Africa's premier luxury real estate listing platform.
List with us and showcase your property with 360-degree virtual tours, custom video URLs, floor plans, and advanced search filters designed for discerning buyers and sophisticated investors.
Whether you represent luxury city apartments, eco-friendly smart homes, golf estates, or premium lifestyle communities, the AfriOne Property elevates your listing to global prominence.
Our global reach connects you to international investors and the Africans in diaspora eager for high yield opportunities, all with professional marketing support and dedicated account guidance.
List now and stand a chance to be featured on the AfriOne show, which includes radio, TV, and podcast, or the AfriOne Radio, voice of the new tribe, where luxury meets opportunity.
For more information, information, call 0807 246 3771, or you can email us at property@afrione.africa, or visit our website at www.theproperty.afrione.africa.
Visit us at 8 Ukwa Close, Gariki, Abuja, on number 2, Bandbreaker Avenue, Johannesburg, South Africa.
The AfriOne Property, where premium listings find premium buyers.